Hey, America, want to make my day and make Dirty Harry happy at the same time? Then get off my lawn and stop being so damn PC. Clint Eastwood unloading on political correctness this week. The screen legend telling Esquire magazine in part, secretly everybody's getting tired of political correctness, kissing up. He went on to say everyone's walking on eggshells. Now, Mercedes Eastwood went on to say some more things we just can't say on Saturday morning. But is he right or wrong? Go ahead. PC over PC?
I think he is completely right. I think political correctness is damaging the American brand of rigid individualism. And I think that there's this real need that, for example, the government has pushed through, which is this is how you should think, this is how you should act. If you have an opinion, for example, on a controversial issue, let's say like the transgender bathroom issue, you better go about it the way the government's telling you to think. And I think it really doesn't allow for the national dialogue that we need in many of these cultural war issues that we're seeing in our country.
Rick, so think about what's going on in the last few months alone. Mercedes points out the transgender bathroom issue. How about the valedictorians in that North Carolina school district are no longer allowed because it was offensive to the people who weren't number one? And then the safe spaces on college campuses. We are just getting bombarded with PC.
Yeah, look, I think it's forcing people to be dishonest. That's exactly what's happening. We want people to be honest, and of course, everyone knows that you need to be cordial. Being un-PC doesn't mean that you're rude, but it does mean that you're being honest and direct and open. You know, the liberals like to say, well, we need people who are more diplomatic. And I always take offense to that because to me, diplomacy is about being an advocate, being forceful, yes, being respectful, but absolutely pushing your position in an open and honest way.
Now, Juan, you do a lot of study, you do a lot of work on schools. Academia has become so liberal and so PC, the safe spaces, the, replacing algebra with diversity in a university in Minnesota. Are we overdoing it?
Well, I think I couldn't agree more. I think that we are, to some extent, overdoing it. And I've written a book about, being muzzled myself. You can't say certain things without people throwing you out. But I'm going to say this to you as well. In this moment, with Donald Trump running and Donald Trump going on about women in offensive ways, going on about Muslims in offensive ways, calling Mexicans rapists, you stop and you say to yourself, well, rudeness, Rick says, but I think, you know what? That's over the line. When you say not PC, does that mean then you're allowing people to offend others, to absolutely stigmatize others, denigrate them?
No.
I can't buy into that. That's rudeness. If you're talking about PC, and I think the rest of this panel has said we need honest discussion in this country, I'm with you guys, but don't push it to the point where you're excusing bad behavior.
Now let me get to Gina, because one point something up that's very important. Donald Trump is anti-PC. We know he just says what he feels. He doesn't worry about that. But in a sense, that's what's resonating with his voting base, right?
It is. 70% of voters say that they want less political correctness in our government. I mean, you get to choose one between a packaged plastic politician whose teleprompters are written by consultants who are paid a lot of money to make them say what they want them to say, or you can choose somebody who sometimes doesn't say it the way that the analysts would like it to be said. But here's the thing, Eric. When are the analysts going to stop trying to define this presidential candidate that the American people have said they want put in the spotlight instead of somebody who's so packaged and plastic?
Gina,
that's the question we have to ask ourselves.
Gina, you are not the kind of person who would stand up and make fun of a disabled American. Donald Trump is. He did it.
I have a special needs son, but I'm also not the kind of person that's going to get all upset about somebody saying something that you know good and well they didn't mean, as opposed to somebody who is going to risk our national security, lie under oath and do all the other criminal activities that this Obama and Hillary administration have taken part in, and not to mention leaving our people in Benghazi.
Let me get Mercy in for the final word.
Well, I have to say, I think for Donald Trump, the anti-PC does work, especially with his core group of supporters. However, to broaden the base, there is this need, and I think Rick talked about it too, about the sense of tolerance, kindness, being a little more diplomatic to a certain extent, in the sense of trying to be able to sell your message beyond just your core group of supporters. Otherwise, you can't win a general election.
All right, I got to leave it there.